Hello and welcome students. Today we are going to cover Civics lesson number 2, which is the Indian Parliament. We go to see that we have main question 1, which is complete the following sentences by choosing the correct option. Now there are 2 sentences given which has 4 options given in the textbook. I have just mentioned the right option. Let us see the first one, which is candidates to the Lok Sabha are elected through dash, which is territorial constituencies. Second sentence is India's dash is the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. The answer for which is vice president. We go to the next slide. Main question 2 here is find and write. It is like name the following. There are 2 questions given here. First one is members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha are known as dash. They are called as MPs, members of parliament. The second one is the responsibility of making laws is with dash. It's with the president. We go to the next slide. Main question 3, which is explain following statements with reasons. So these are give reasons. There are 2 give reasons. The first one is Rajya Sabha is a permanent house. So let us see the answer for it. Why is it called as a permanent house? First of all, Rajya Sabha is never dissolved completely, and 1/3 of the total membership of Rajya Sabha who have completed their time period of 6 years, they retire after every 2 years. And when they retire, what happens is an equal number of new members get elected. And that is the reason why they never get dissolved, and hence it is called as a permanent house. Let us see the next slide, which is the second question. Why is the Lok Sabha known as the first house? The answer is, see, Lok Sabha is called as the lower house of the parliament. It is also called as the first house of the parliament. And Lok Sabha is the house of representatives. Why? Because they are directly elected by the people. And because of these 2 reasons, Lok Sabha is called as the first house. We go to the next slide, which is main question 4. Answer the following in 25 to 30 words. The first question here is, how are members of the Lok Sabha elected? The answer is in 4 points. Let's see the first point. The members of Lok Sabha are elected directly by people from the territorial constituencies, from their local areas. Second point is there can be a maximum of 552 members in the Lok Sabha, that is 550 plus 2. And also to ensure that there are representations from all the sections of the community, some seats are reserved for members which belong to this scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, etc. In the earlier second point, I said 550 plus 2. Now this 2 is appointed by the president. The fourth point is, in case there are no representatives from the Anglo-Indian community, then, so from such a community, if the representation is less, then the president can appoint 2 members from this community to the Lok Sabha. And that's why it is 550 plus 2. 550 from the territorial constituencies and 2 by the president from the Anglo-Indian community. That's how it is 552. We go to the next slide. Explain the functions of the Speaker of Lok Sabha, which is the second question. The answer for which is, he or she has to conduct the business of the house in an unbiased manner. So there cannot be any partiality. He has to conduct it smoothly. Second point is the speaker takes care of the rights and privileges of the members in the Lok Sabha. Third point, the Speaker has to maintain the decorum and dignity of the House for the smooth functioning. Fourth point states, it is the Speaker's duty to interpret the rules of the daily functioning of the House and work accordingly. So these are the four functions of the Lok Sabha, Speaker of the Lok Sabha. We go to the next slide, which is the last slide and last question for this particular question and answer set, which is from the textbook, which is the fifth one, main question 5, which is explain the steps involved in the law making process. Now this answer is a bit lengthy, so it will come up in 2 slides. The first one, we start with the introduction, that is, what is a bill? So the draft proposal of the law or the bill undergoes the following procedure. Okay, so what is a law, which is a draft proposal of the bill? So it undergoes 3 steps. The first one is the first reading. Now here what happens is, the minister or any member of the parliament will present the bill by explaining it briefly. Okay, what it is made up of, its structure, they will try to explain, and this is called as the first reading. Then it goes to the next stage, which is the second reading. Now here again, the objectives or the aim of making this particular bill or the proposed bill are discussed, and members in the House will express their opinion. Some might agree to it and some might not agree to it. And after the discussions within the House, then that particular bill is sent to a committee of the House. There they put their instructions and recommendations so that this bill becomes flawless or without any mistakes. Then we go to the next slide, which is the bill is discussed clause by clause. This is a continuation of the second point. So the bill is discussed here in clause by clause in the second phase of the second reading. Here the members can suggest if there are any changes made, after which it is put to vote. Voting takes place in the House. So first and the second stage is over. We go to the third stage, which is the third reading. So here the bill is briefly discussed again, so that the bill becomes flawless during the third reading, and then again it is put to vote for approving the bill by the assent of majority, which is required. Assent is approval of the majority people present in the parliament. Then the bill undergoes same procedure like the first reading, second reading and the third reading in the other house. Say for example, the bill was introduced in Lok Sabha. The same proceedings of first, second and third reading will undergo in the second house, that is the Rajya Sabha, or vice versa. After getting an approval by both the houses, that is from the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, the bill is further sent for final assent. Assent again is approval and signature by the President. So after both the houses give their approval, it goes to the President, and President then finally approves it by signing on it. And that is how the bill gets converted into a law. Here we finish the question and answer session for lesson number 2. I hope all of you have understood the notes. Thank you so much.